tutorial in 6 and in today's tutorial it happens to be the very first class we are having on the course PCR274, and basically we know how things are being done. We're going to be taking our bearing from the concept, all right, the concept of conflict. We're going to be dissecting what it means by conflict. We're going to be dissecting the concept behind the term conflict. For those of us who are new to the stream, kindly ensure to subscribe to the channel. Also, ensure to give us a thumbs up, as well as you ensure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you get notified directly from YouTube the moment we have or start any live file or upload any vital information. And most importantly, for those of us who are not aware that we have a private class where we walk you through all your courses throughout the semester without leaving any course unattended to, it might interest you to reach out to us through our official website, which is www.tutorial.net, and send us a direct message using the WhatsApp button you find in the top right hand corner. With this being said, let's go straight into today's class. Okay. So according to the thumbnail, it says the concept of conflict. The concept of conflict. Now, when we talk about conflict, especially for this department, it's not a new word at all. It is a word we have heard, all right, we have used severally. It's a word we are very familiar with. Okay, it's a word we are very familiar with. And basically, when we talk about conflict, and there's a lot that goes into it. It all depends on the angle to which you are speaking from, or from the perspective to which you are making your point. All right. So in today's class, we're going to be considering a whole lot of things. All right, a whole lot of concepts that point to better understanding of the term conflict. Okay. So now, when we talk about the concept of conflict, all right, conflict itself has been variously defined by scholars. All right, a whole lot of scholars has made their input, their contribution, all right, about the term conflict. Okay, and as well as they have already made it known that conflict origin comes from the Latin word. All right, a lot of scholars have spoken. I won't be doing much of writing on this because conflict has been discussed properly in our other classes. So we're just going to go through this. So I need to pay detailed attention. I will be doing more of explanation and less of writing. So now, like I said earlier, this term is a universal term. It's a global term. All right. It's a term that has attracted a lot of interest on a global level. All right. It's a term that has attracted a whole lot of attention, a whole lot of interest on a global level. Scholars, philosophers, scientists, name them. They've given their input about this term. All right. But we are going to take our bearing from the genesis of the term of conflict. Okay, and when we talk about the genesis of this term, it has its origin, all right, from the Latin word called confligere, all right, confligere, all right, so it's of the Latin origin. It's of the Latin origin, confligere. Now, this confligere simply means strike together. Okay, now please note, all right, this is a disclaimer. This is a disclaimer, okay, to remind us that on this stream, on this channel, we do not encourage, support, or advocate for violence. All right, please note that what we do basically and solely on this stream, all right, is to educate, all right, nothing more, nothing less. Basically, what we do is to educate. Are we together? So please note, anything we have, any word or any term will be taken on the course of this class. Basically, it's for educational purpose. Please note that. Okay. So we have that as that. Now, like I said, the said term is of a Latin origin. All right, originate from the Latin word confli. All right, confligere, which means strike together, which means strike together. Now, on a technical level, when we look at the term conflict on a technical level, all right, we are simply referring to oppositions, all right, oppositions among social entities, all right, on a technical level. We have conflict as opposition, all right, among social entities. When social entities begin to see each other as oppositions directed against one another. Now, when we talk about conflict on a technical level, we see conflict as oppositions among social entities directed. Now, underline social entities. These entities are these entities were social before the opposition directed against each other or against one another. Before you can call an entity social, it means that this entity wants to live together in peace and harmony. This entity wants, all right, add things in common. All right, they want add things common, move with each other, supported and encouraged each other until the opposition came and they begin to conflict against each other. All right, so that is conflict on a technical level. Now, we can also consider conflict as a struggle. Okay, We can also consider conflict as a struggle. All right. What is this struggle all about? Struggle over values. Okay. Struggles over values or claims to statues. When you begin to see people struggle over values, what they believe in, their core values, what they stand for, what they live for. If you see people beginning to struggle over power, who gets the power, who gets will the power. When you see people struggle over scarce resources, no, it is our own, no, it is not your own, yes, it is our own, no, it is not your own, in which the aim of this group or individual involves are not to obtain the desired value to what neutralize, injure, or eliminate rivals, then we see this as conflict, right? A struggle over values. Okay, struggle over values, claims, power, resources. Them. All right, the list is endless. When people begin to realize that no, we can no longer share this. It has to be me in charge. It has to be you in charge. It has to be this. It has to be that. When people begin to lay claims, all right, lay claims to statues. All right, when people say, "Oh, we are the one that will rule. We are born rulers. We are entitled monarchs," they see conflict around the corner. When you begin to see social institution whereby at least two parties are involved over a strive for goals, and these goals happens not to be compatible, incompatible goals, strive over incompatible goals. So we have incompatibility. All right. When we begin to see groups, all right, when we begin to see groups, when we begin to see groups seeing each others as incompatible, when you begin to see incompatibilities, their goals, then no, I think these people will back, these people will then there's a problem around the corner. All right, incompatibility, all right, of people goals. Okay, when you see strives for goals which are incompatible to begin with, or strive for same goal which can only be reached by one party. You can imagine when when groups are striving for one goal that can only be achieved by one person or by one group, or you see multiple groups or groups going thing, definitely there will be conflicts. All right. We also see conflict as contests, dispute, and tension. All right, contests, disputes. All right, competition. Okay, competitions, tensions. All right, as manifest clashes. All right, clashes that are obvious, manifestation, the happening of clashes. All right, tensions manifest clashes. When you see groups begin to clash, manifest clashes between social forces, then you can tell there is a conflict. Conflict can also be seen as a situation. All right, this situation is of competition in which the parties are aware. of incompatibility of potential future positions. Yes, they know fully well that they can never come together. So the only way they can settle it is either one dominates the other. One group has to dominate each other. Then you definitely can tell that it's just a matter of time. The manifestation of conflict is around the corner. Now, each parties wish to occupy a position that is incompatible with the wishes of the other. All right. So it's basically just imposing, impose, dominate by all means. Through this, conflict is surely involved. So you also see conflict as a goal directed activity, all right, designed to improve the position of one party at the expense of the other. All right. When a particular group sees their own goal as most important over every other person's goal, my goal, what I want, my wish, my desire, definitely. All right. And they are willing to do anything, they are willing to go extra mile. All right. They don't care. They want to achieve this goal even at the expense of the goal of the other group. Then definitely the other group will revolt. Other group will also react its conflicts. Now, conflict is the intentional mutual exchange of negative sanctions. All right. Conflict is also seen as intentional. All right. Intentional mutual exchange of negative sanctions between two or more parties escalated. They are willing to go to any length. They are we have that as that. Now, one thing we must also note here is that conflict is present when two or more parties perceive that their interests, all right, is no longer the same. Differences differences in interest. That is the main reason. When you begin to see that our goals are not compatible, our interests are not the same, then conflict is just around the corner. All right? They begin to express hostility towards each other. These parties may be individuals, small or large groups, and countries. It all depends. So according to Lund says interest can construct in many ways. All right. So Lund said interest can conflict in many ways. So when we say interest conflicting or construct, all right, constructs in many ways. It could be over resources, over identity. All right, over power, over status. According to Lund. So we have that as that. Now the Chinese define conflict as danger plus opportunity. All right, this is the Chinese also making their input. And the Chinese sees conflict as danger plus opportunity. Danger in what sense? Danger is near to violence, all right, and opportunity is near to challenge. Danger is near violence, and opportunity is near to challenge, all right, and it is said to be the foundation of creation. Okay, I think I have it in my pocket. I was going to get my next. Danger plus opportunity, all right. Violence, danger is near to violence, and opportunity is near to challenge. So by this, they understand or they see violence, they see conflict as the foundation to the creation of mankind, to the creation story. All right. So basically, it's only Chinese that sees conflict as positive. All right. Conflict is very highly essential. So now the you see it, it can be negative. It's negative and it's destructive. When it's positive and it's constructive. Trust me, everyone goes through this. All right. I've seen conflict within, I've seen conflict without. So you just need to understand what is this concept all about. Is it all negative or does it have a positive part to it? All right. So there is also the need to distinguish between crisis from conflict. So crisis is different from conflict. All right. Crisis is different from conflict. Now, when we say crisis is gotten from conflict. All right. Crisis is the manifestation. You know, conflict might not be seen. All right. But you begin to know that, yes, this group is conflicting when you begin to see crisis. So, crisis is a manifestation of conflict. All right. Although crisis can also be said to exist without the manifestation of conflict or violence. So now, crisis is usually the aftermath of violence. It's just a case of before you see a fire, there was a smoke. That's just conflict and crisis. Okay? Before a fire, there's always. So now the fire is the violence or the crisis, but the conflict is the smoke that has ignited that fire, known as crisis. So we have that as start. So we're going to call it a wrap here for today. And in our next class, we'll take it from types of conflicts. I'll be very intentional and particular about conflict. Thank you very much, everyone. I believe you all are able to gain something to this class. Let's ensure to keep our notes up to date and submit them to the appropriate courses. Do have a wonderful evening and bye for now. Don't forget, short on our private class where we walk you through all the courses throughout the semester. All you need to do is reach out to us on our official website, which is tutorial.net, and you find the WhatsApp button in the top right corner. You send us a direct message. You get resources like practice questions, keynotes, regular classes, one-on-one tutorials to guide you and ensure you are all set up for the semester. Do have a wonderful evening and bye.